Oh, how's it going?
Oh, man, I had a little trouble connecting there for a minute. What's going on, man?
It's all good. It's a pleasure to have you. How have you been?
Man, just working and training, getting ready for another one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good to hear. Well, I'll start with a little intro. You're last year's Mr. Arkansas 2018. I know you've been working at that for a little bit. I guess I'll just start it right there. How many times have you done that Arkansas show?
Man, I was thinking about that today. I think I've done it 7 times, and I finally won it the last time. Yeah.
Oh.
I won a lot of first place. I won the light heavyweight. I won the heavyweight. I won the super heavyweight. But last year, I came in right, and I finally got that eagle,
That's awesome. Before we go into that a little bit more in depth, can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up? Are you from Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm from Arkansas. I live right outside of Little Rock and Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play sports growing up there and everything?
Man, I played football, played football through high school.
Okay, so I assume you were in the gym for all that.
Yeah.
And how'd you get sort of into bodybuilding?
Man, after high school, I kind of laid off the weights for a little while. I guess about 21, I started lifting weights again, powerlifting. Started powerlifting for a few years, and I guess 2008, I started training for my first contest. And
okay.
Yeah. And 2009, I'd done my first contest in Texas, and then so on. It went from there. I won the overall at the Northwest show in Arkansas. That was my first overall. And, I won the Midwest Pro. I got that overall, and I got the Dexter Jackson Classic. I got that overall then, of course, the Arkansas this past year.
Okay. With all those overalls and everything, do you think that your package was getting better and better each time? Do you think your best showing was that Arkansas show?
Man, I think the last 3 years I've really improved the last 3 years, and I think this last year was the best that I've been yet. I've been able to hold the size and the conditioning all together to bring the total package, that I've been looking for, and this year it's going to be a little better.
Okay. So I guess we'll go into the Arkansas shows a little bit. What's some of your favorite memories of competiters there? Who's some of the people that you love sharing the stage with over the 7 years?
Kyle Crane was one of them. I used to love to compete with him. Ross Jackson, he's another one, man. He's a good competitor. I love competing with Ross. He was a good one. There was a bunch of guys I've actually competed with over the years from Arkansas. Been a lot of really good competitors,
Okay. Do you have a favorite competition memory? Maybe a backstage, something that happened funny, or maybe just the glory of getting that eagle. I don't know.
I don't know. This year was really, I don't know. It was kind of surreal for me. I finally won it, and I got that eagle, and that was it for me right there. I finally set out and got what I was accomplishing. I always wanted that, and now I kind of got my goal set on trying to get a pro card this year.
Okay, yeah, that's some of my questions right there.
Okay.
Do you expect to compete this next year?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing the Dallas Europa June 8th.
Okay. A lot of people will take a year off here and there and stuff. You seem to be competing pretty much every year pretty consistently for a little bit. You think that just fits with you, or
Yeah, man, I just love it. I love the sport. I love everything about it. I love to compete. I love to lift weights. I love everybody in the sport. It's great. It's getting bigger and bigger here in Arkansas. It's just what I do. I have taken a year or two off, back in the past. And I think if I can get that pro card, I'll start slowing down a little bit and setting my sights on what I, try to get better for the next show. Focusing on, getting a little more size on maybe.
All right. Any spots that you're actually thinking about getting that pro card? Any shows in mind for that?
Man, I'm thinking about doing the Masters of Pittsburgh, the Masters Nationals in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you should do well.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to sort of segue into maybe some of the things that you thought really helped you get to that point. I know you've been doing it for a while, so what's something that I guess you're not going to get at the beginning that you think was crucial to you later on, that just took some time in bodybuilding to realize?
Man, I think over the years of bodybuilding, I guess I've been doing it since 2009, so I've been doing it for a minute. Man, I learned you got to stick to the plan. If you want to win, you want to be a winner, you got to stick to that plan. You can't get off track. If you got a coach, you got to believe in them and listen to everything they tell you, man. I mean, that's something that I've learned is crucial. Is whoever you're using, listen. You know, I don't do my own prep or anything like that because I don't like all the thinking and having to, I let him do all the thinking for me and the adjustments for me and tell me, what I need to work on a little bit this week or next week, So that's what I learned over the years.
Okay. So speaking consistency-wise on all this, I assume your diet's pretty much generally the same day-to-day right now or close to it?
Yeah, I started this prep 2 weeks ago.
So you're starting to experience some changes?
I have to send in weekly photos, of course, I'm on Prestige Physiques, Ty Wigley's my coach, so he wants, photos every Monday, so if he sees something, he's going to change my diet or my training, whatever he thinks needs to be changed, so my diet could change week to week or every couple of weeks, it depends on how I'm looking.
All right. What are you weighing right now as you're beginning this cut?
Right before I started 2 weeks ago, I was at 256, and right now, I'm waking up about 248 and going to bed about 251. So I'm getting, it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm one of them guys I start tightening up pretty quick. So it's looking good so far.
Do you guys try to hit a target weight or anything, or you guys mainly go at pictures, or just what's some of the guidelines that you like?
For me, of course, I'm going to be a super heavyweight. For me, at my lowest weight, I'm still in the super heavyweight class. So we go for conditioning with me. I keep the size pretty much, but we want to go for conditioning is number one. That's key with us. He wants us to be peeled. So, and I've always, and that's what it's about these days, I think, is more, instead of so much.
I think it's one of the more crucial things, yes.
Yes, it is.
So, I guess, start with a little bit of, how's your training like now? You mentioned you like to stick with that pretty heavily.
Right, doing a push-pull. Push-pull legs off a day, push-pull A workout, push-pull B the next week workout. They're totally different workouts, and I've been doing that for a while. But like I said, since, prep started, training will change, week to week. Sets will get different. There'll be more supersets, more, drop sets. There'll be a lot more of that,
Okay, so just to try to get that volume with the less weight.
Yeah, and I stay pretty heavy with all that too, so.
Okay. And what about diet a little bit? I know you said it's week to week, but are you generally gonna? How much do you think you're cutting there on diet? Do you plan on doing a pretty drastic cut, or is it just all in the coach's hands?
Yeah, it's in the coach's hands. Like I said, my diet like it's like right now it's been the same for the past 3 weeks. But, I send him pictures tomorrow, and he might send me an email saying, hey, you need to take carbs. We might take carbs out here. We might add more in here. He might, add a meal, take a meal. It just depends on what I look like and what he thinks needs to be done. And then as far as the diet goes, which is totally different from off-season diet, which it'll stay the same for a while. But, like I said, it's a week to week right now.
All right. You mentioned your training days and sort of change into maybe like a superset or drop set or something like that going into prep. Are you ever going to really change the actual split? Are you always going to do the same things on the same days?
Oh no, they'll change.
It'll all change going in.
Yeah. They'll change. You know, I try to keep it that way. Of course, you know, it keeps it mixed up for me. You know, I see results that way. It works good for me.
Okay. So you mentioned you were, sorry, it was Benton or Bryant?
Bryant, you know, Benton Bryant.
Bryant. I knew it was one of those B's in the Little Rock area. Are you still around that area? Are you living in there?
Actually, you know, I live in between Bryant and Little Rock. I'm still in the area, yes. I stay here.
Okay. I guess I'll sort of ask just a random opinion question about the Arkansas State moving up to Rogers. How do you feel about that? It was in your backyard for so long, and then you win the last one down there.
I'm glad I did, you know, but, I think it's good. You know, I think it'll be good for them. I mean, honestly, I think there's more people up there that can, you know, you'll have more people from Missouri, from Oklahoma. You'll have more people coming around from there. There's a lot of good bodybuilders up there too, you know, and I just think it'll be altogether be a better show. That's just my opinion. You know, in the past couple of years in Little Rock, it seemed to fade off a little bit, you know, and then, so I kind of don't blame them for making the jump, really.
You think we can expect you there to spectate?
Oh, yeah, I'll be up there to watch for sure. I'm always going to support the Arkansas show. You know, I love the show. You know, Chad and Nichols, you know, they put on a great show. Him and Kim, you know, they're awesome people. You know, I've always liked the way they ran their shows, and especially the way they changed to moving the bodybuilders to go before all the other competitors. That was nice that they done that the past 2 years, too. So. I can remember when we would be the last ones to go up, it'd be 10:30 at night before I got on stage sometimes.
Oh, man.
That was rough.
That sort of makes me think about something. This one's probably on your coach a little bit. What's a typical in-between prejudging and night show meal for you? And then what's a favorite cheat meal for you?
Just depending on how I look, you know. He might send me out to eat a cheeseburger with some fries, maybe, you know, and a little bit of sweet tea, you know. If I'm holding a little much, he might tell me not to just go and, you know, go rest. You know, just depends on how I look, you know. I mean, most of the time I get to go eat a little something when I leave. So I'm pretty dry in the morning times, you know. I need to fill out a little more by the evening.
Okay. So then just maybe during prep when he says go get a cheat meal, what's your favorite one to go get?
Oh man, I like going to the steakhouse, man, getting a big old steak, you know, and baked potato. That's what I do, you know. I know, and it's not a dirty cheat, but it's what I like, man. You know, I get the, you know, I get everything with it, the onions and everything on it, you know, beef tips, something like that with gravy on it. You know, that's my cheat meal. Yeah, I try to keep it pretty clean.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll sort of take a step away from things a little bit. What's something that you do when you're not bodybuilding? What's the Dustin Lester outside of bodybuilding?
Oh man, you know, when I'm not working, man, you know, I'm into cars, man. I got a couple race cars. Take to the
okay.
racetrack. Yeah. I like that speed, man.
That sounds fun, man.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that you think sort of bodybuilding can carry over to anyone's life? What are some of maybe the principles that would help anybody, I guess? What have you learned from it?
And I'll tell you, you know, it keeps me where, you know, I always stay focused. That's one thing about me, man. I set a goal. If I set that goal, I'll accomplish it. You know, I'm a real driven person, you know. It's made me really headstrong, you know. It's just, bodybuilding's one of those sports, man, you know. You have to be headstrong through all that. You know, you've done a prep, so you know what it's like going through all that, you know. And I've taken that away from me, you know. Yeah. Other than that, you know, it's just been my passion, really. It's what I've always done.
Okay. So I guess there's one of my questions I like to ask is what sort of unexpected that's come out of your life from bodybuilding or fitness, and I guess if you've always been involved in it, there's not really much that's changed there.
You know, nothing really unexpected's had, you know, I mean, not really for me, you know.
I've asked you a little bit about your training practices and then your diet too. What about the posing side? How frequently do you do that?
Oh man, you know, I've started posing. I have to, you know. I mean, I'm one of them guys. I have to pose. Of course, we all know I'll start sweating on stage if you know. But I pose all the time. You know, after sets, I pose in between sets when I'm working out in the gym. You know, whatever body part I work out that day, I try to hit the poses on that. You know, so pretty frequent. You know, do it. You know, because I know my first couple shows I did, I was spaghetti legs up there. I was up there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was turning around hoping I was hitting it right. So that's something that's crucial is posing for sure. And, you know, of course, I had Barrett Ward. He helped me out. He helps me out with the posing too, you know. He lives down here. He's trained with me a lot. He actually trained with me to win the Dexter Jackson Classic. So he helps me out with the posing a lot.
That's awesome. Got a little community down there. It always helps to have a team.
Oh man, there's a lot of guys down here that are a lot of good guys.
How far out are you on the Dallas Year Open now?
16 weeks, just a little bit over 16 weeks.
Okay, yeah. And then when you start going into a prep. Is that generally the same duration every time, or is that just based on how you look?
Huh?
When you start a prep, when you choose to go into it, is it based on how you look, or is it you just generally choose a 18-week prep? Or
man, you know, through our off season, we stay pretty tight. You know, I mean, we don't get too far out of shape in the off season, so. Coming into it, you know, I mean, we already look, you know, I try to stay, you know, within 15, 20 pounds of my show weight. So I don't like to struggle to get the weight.
Well, trying to think of where I want to go with this. Might just start to wrap it up a little bit. What's something that you think maybe a fringe bodybuilder or someone just getting into training or whatnot might be able to learn from you, or if they're trying to do a show for the first time, if you have any advice on that?
Man, if you don't have a coach, or to me, that's the best thing to do. I mean, if you're doing a show for the first time, I would find somebody who's a reputable coach, you know, to help you. Because I mean, like I said, my first couple of contests I did on my own, and it was tough. You know, so I think find you a coach, find someone that has knowledge in the sport, dieting, you know, training, get with them, somebody that can, you know, lead you in the right direction. That's what I would, you know, tell somebody, you know, get you a good prep coach.
All right. I think I'll wrap it up there. This was awesome. It was a little bit shorter than the other ones, but we can tell that you're a man that's to the point, and really commemorable. We expect to see some good things out of you this year. But I'm excited to see you in Dallas, and I'd love for another Arkansas person to snag a pro card this year. And
it'd be nice.
You were looking good last year. You're definitely on the short list. So yeah. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
Oh, no problem. Have a good day or night.